Good afternoon, everybody. We can just start with a couple of very grassroots analytical issues on how we can put financial statements in place and how we can go about some uh, analytical perspectives on research. So these are very simple things. Now, what I'm trying to show you is interpreting profitability. Now, when you are interpreting profitability, something which all of you know, I have talked about two firms here, A and B, which you can see and you can also note down. I have given just very simple two ratios. There is a gross profit ratio and the net profit ratio. Now, for A, for firm A, you have a gross profit ratio which is 40% and a net profit ratio which that firm has created is only 5. Whereas for B, it is just the reverse. It has only 15% in GP ratio, but it has made a net profit ratio of 35%. Okay. The other details in the profit and loss account is not given. So this is the data. Now from this data, what you're supposed to do, you have supposed to interpret profitability of the two firms. I've not asked for the profits of the two firms because amounts are not given. Where will you, which firm will you place as better in terms of profitability? And what is the reason for that? So you just say A or B, according to you, is more profitable in its operations. And I said profitable in its operations in terms of profitability, which firm you consider to be better. And the second, why are you saying so? So obviously, if you look at the question, you will find that B is better in terms of net profit, whereas A is better in terms of gross profit. So the issue is, how will you judge profitability of the firm in terms of the given data? So I hope this is clear. You can you have got it with you. So you can just keep this with you. I'll just cover all those that I have want you to put across. And then you can mail these things in as brief as possible reason. So this answer to this just requires whether you're considering A or B as profitable. If it is A, why? If it is B, why? That's all. Okay, so the next issue is event study. Now, again, I have given some events which are very commonly known to anybody who is there across India, which has had an impact, which is definitely going to have an impact on both the economy and the industry. So I want you to find out whether you can use your internet resources and all. Find out what was the impact of this event on a 15-day scale in India. Event number one is the introduction of GST and the movement which took place in terms of financial indicators. This happened in 2017. All of you know that it happened in 2017. So when this event took place, how did the market react in over a 15-day period? And again, what do you think is the reason for that? Maybe one or two sentences. So also another event given is demonetization, which happened in 2016. And how did the financial indicators move based on this in 2016? Just, I'm not talking about long-term movement which took place just over a period of 15 days. Third one is the elections. I'm talking about the last election which took place at the center, and the BJP government came to power for the second time. So what again, these three events, how did these three events reflect upon in terms of movements, 15-day movement from the day of the event till 15 days after that? What was the response and how the movement actually happened? So is this clear? Can I go ahead? Event study is just this. And these are things which should normally be part of what do you call micro level issues which happen in applied research. Now, Time value impact on investments is the next one, which I would like you to look at. Now, take any insurance product of your choice, any insurance product of your choice, and you can also look at the website of any insurance company, and they are talking about 10 years later, 15 years later, you pay for 5 years. There is a lock-in period for another 5 years, and after 10 years, you get an amount. So considering a discount rate of 10%, how exactly are you going to look at the return that they are providing? Once again, I'm repeating, considering a discount rate of 10%, you identify an insurance product of your choice, which has it can be according to your choice. You can say 5-year lock-in period or 10-year lock-in period. So whatever be that lock-in period, a, a policy which is going to mature 10 years or 10 years plus from a particular year, they're giving something. And considering a discount rate of 10%, how will you make your evaluation on the same? So this is number 3. It is just talking about time value and its impact on investments. Now, funding for startups, one example I already gave you in the course of my presentation, the Zomato case. You can take any funding that has been done for startups in terms of deployment of funds by angel investors. There are a number of angel investors which you can easily get from the website. Take one angel investor of your choice and give just 3 factors which prompted them to finance a particular startup. Once again, I'm repeating, you take any angel investor of your choice, give the name of that firm, and identify 3. There are several reasons which are given why they are financing a particular startup. You just give 3 reasons on why they have actually financed a particular startup. So take any institution of your choice which is acting as an angel investor, and why they are financing. You give 1, 2, 3. Reason number 1, reason number 2, reason number 3, and you will see how they have moved into an analytical perspective while funding a startup. Now, the next one is absolute value and relativity. Now, this is something which is very important. I have given 5 factors over there: profitability, productivity, project appraisal, and solvency. Now, I don't want you to take all the 4. You take any one of your choice. You can either select profitability, or you can select productivity, or you can select project appraisal, or you can select solvency. You take any one of the factors given here and you decide how this factor is different from the absolute value. Now, I'll tell you what is absolute value. Suppose I take profit. Profit is an absolute value, whereas profitability is a relative value. Now, in the first example that I gave you, I talked about relativity. I didn't talk about absolute value. So here when I'm saying profitability, one value is associated with another value. It can be profitability in terms of return of investment, or profitability where profit is put against sales. So it can be analyzed on any relative values. So you are supposed to talk about how this conveys meaning when it is put in a relative term when compared to putting it in an absolute term. I'll just give one example. All of you know about project appraisal techniques. When you do financial project appraisal techniques, you have heard about a term called net present value. What is this net present value? It is the excess of present value of inflows over the present value of outflows. Or simply, it is present value of inflow minus present value of outflow. And that's an absolute value. Let us say a project has an initial investment of 1 crore. 1 crore. And it gives inflows whose present value is 1 crore 20 lakhs. So present value of inflow 1 crore 20 lakhs. And initial investment is the present value of outflow, which is 1 crore. So when you take the absolute value, you get a surplus of 20 lakhs. This is an absolute value. Now let us take another firm in which its present value or the initial investment that is required is just 10 lakhs. First case, I said initial investment is 1 crore. Present value of inflows is 1 crore 20 lakh. Surplus is 20 lakh. Now I'm taking a case of 10 lakh. And the present value of inflow is 12 lakh. So 10 lakh, 12 lakh, benefit or a surplus is 2 lakhs. So for firm A, it is 20 lakhs. For firm B, it is 2 lakhs. But the problem here is, for firm A, it is 20 lakhs with an investment of 1 crore. For firm B, it is 12 lakhs with an investment of, again, 10 lakhs. So in both the case, the surplus is 20%. Or in other words, if you put this in terms of profitability index, it becomes a relative value. So how do you look at these relative values like profitability vis-a-vis profits or productivity vis-a-vis production, or as I said, NPV vis-a-vis profitability index? So there are a number of financial analytical methodologies where we try to look at relativity versus absolute values. So I want you to state just one reason why absolute values are important, why and when absolute values are important, and why and when relative values are important. Why, according to you, looking at profit alone is important, if you believe so, and why, according to you, profitability is important rather than profit is important. Or simply what I'm trying to do is, I want you to judge whether you go by profitability or whether you look at profits. You can take any example, gross profit ratio, net profit ratio, NPV, or solvency, or any issue, and try and establish whether it is the absolute value or the relative value which becomes more important. Okay. And the last one is about IPOs, fund raised firms, sector, venture. That means you select any IPO of your choice. All this can be done on your fingertips by just searching through the term IPOs. You will get a number of IPOs which have come. Maybe you select any IPO in the last 6 months and you try and identify the funds which were raised, the sector and the venture in which it has financed. So these are certain things which this is not required. These are certain things which perhaps when you do, you understand that there are more of elements that are coming up in terms of analytical decisions. I have just put the basics because we are not pumping you with information. But when it comes to the real life situation, you are getting lots of pumped information, which is going to be substantive in terms of your implementation practices. Okay, I'll come to the first one to help you further in this. See, this is a simple thing where you're looking at something. Now, what I'm trying to put across here is impact assessment. When there is a gap between GP and NP, what does that gap imply? And if that gap is huge or small, where do you see the impact? Which item in the profit and loss account is impacting the profitability? So such kind of a judgment or such kind of a a discussion with brief notes is what I would like you to have when we are talking about this practice. Anybody wants to ask anything on what I have put across so far? On any of these small practices? Anybody wants to raise anything? You can do that now.
So with regard to third scenario.
Pardon?
With regard to third scenario.
Yeah, the third one, this one.
Time value impact on investment.
Okay.
Are we supposed to consider inflation factor?
Definitely.
So
definitely.
International Fisher's effect would be getting applicable.
Yeah. what all you think is important, because this is, we are trying to look at the analytical perspective of how this can be looked into. So these are all, actually, these are things which we start learning from our +2 days, but I'm trying to put it in an analytical perspective and see how you are using it for inferential purposes. Okay.